This is Diana Sullivan. This video is an excerpt from my large video course called Knitter's Finishing School. Finishing School can help you be confident as you assemble your knit projects. It can make sewing up enjoyable. You can use the many topics in the course as a great reference as you get to your own knitting project situations. I am often asked how best to hide yarn ends, and I flipped this piece to the wrong side out so that you can see my nice tidy little seam. Now the seam is the very best place to hide your yarn ends so that they don't come out later. What you do is just sew not into the right side of the work at all, just sew in and out of the seam allowance. You can even take the knitting like this and just run in and out running stitch on the seam allowance. And I like to secure a couple of inches. Another thing you can do to help keep your ends from creeping out is you can take a little back stitch and then continue your running stitch effort on up the side. Clip it close to where you finish sewing. Just lift it up and clip close, but not cut into the knitting itself. And that is a beautifully finished edge. And it just hides down in the seam allowance, and it cannot crawl out and show on the right side of your sweater, no matter what you do. And if you are entered in any kind of fair with judging, or if you have a yarn shop and people pick it up and look at how you made it, or if your best girlfriend is an experienced knitter, those folks will turn your work around to the inside and they'll look at these details. So make them just as good as you can, which was a reason why on a real project and not a swatch, I would have used a matching yarn. This white yarn is going to show a little bit, even after I hide the end, by running it up the seam allowance. So that's how to hide ends that are any place near a seam. Here's a second method for hiding ends. This is a tool that you can get from a machine knitting dealer, and there are a number of them on the web. I am not a machine knitting dealer. Well, the way that you would do this, just a time saver in case you have to do a whole lot of knitting and you just have to finish in a hurry. For instance, what if it is Christmas Eve or the day before somebody's birthday? What you do is you put this in the place where you want the yarn to go. Wiggle it in, out, then catch the yarn inside this tool, inside that latch. The latch closes and you can just pull that end in there. It'll be just the same as if you sewed it in with a needle, but it's really quick to do it this way. Sometimes when I have a lot of ends to hide, I will do it this way for a while, then do it the other way for a while, just to give myself a change of routine. And because that's in my seam allowance, that end is never going to creep out and show on the front side of my garment.